our second pick. Okay, well, for me, I'll go first. I picked AEW Fight Forever, and the reason
Mm.
why is everyone knows I'm a wrestling fan here. I like AEW,
What?
and some of the things that got me excited about this game, even though graphically, to be honest, it doesn't look like as appealing as maybe the WWE latest game. But one of the things that got me super hype is that Yuke is developing the games. For those of you that don't know, Yuke develop SmackDown versus Raw games. They also developed the UFC Undisputed 3 game, and they also develop the WWE SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. Those are some of the better known games from them, and also the creator of the N64 No Mercy is also working on the game. His name, I might butcher it, is Hideyuki Iwashita, aka Geta. Maybe I butchered it.
Mm-hmm.
And the game, they're making sure it has an arcade feel to it. Kenny Omega, the wrestler, even though he's a wrestler, he's very invested in video games, especially like fighting games. Like he plays a lot of fighting games. They even had an event in Fighter Fest because of him, because he just loves fighting game, and one of the things he loves is the arcade feel. So they're really pushing this, and he's, like I said, he's fully invested in this. Some of the things that has been confirmed is gonna have more, at least 10 modes. It says 10 plus, which will include single match, of course, tag team, 3-way, 4-way, ladder match, casino battle royale, which is kind of like the battle royale but a little bit different. Fall count anywhere, unsanctioned lights out match, which basically it's like everything is it's valid there. Exploding barbed wire death match, which if anyone's a AEW fan here, I expect this exploding barbed wire match to actually work, actually explode. It's gonna have deep career mode. It's gonna have heavy like customization on the wrestler, on the arena, the attire, the move sets, everything. More than 40 weapons. It's actually gonna have mini games, which I'm iffy on those mini games. Those mini games look they're pretty weird, and it's gonna have surprisingly. This is something that got me intrigued. A 30 people online mode, 30-player online mode, which I'm assuming that's maybe for the casino battle royale mode, but I wonder how that's gonna work. It's pretty interesting. But anyway, yeah, it's a game. I'm super excited. Um, I want to actually, I want to create a player. I want to role play a little bit and do some stuff. Uh, and I'm a heavy fan of wrestling, so I'm super excited. I know Silent is nodding his head because he doesn't like wrestling. He doesn't understand as Lou, right?
Oh,
But
yes, it's
but
very complex. It's
but
so hard to understand.
but
So,
but I'll go with you, Silent, first to end on a high note because I don't want you to end end up and just completely butcher my pick. But
no,
are you at least gonna try it with us?
if it comes to Game Pass, yes, yes. If it's not on Game Pass, I'm sorry, bud. I'm not spending the money.
I'm gonna make you play it. Okay,
Um,
it's a must.
but no, the look on my face was not necessarily that you were talking about wrestling. Um, the look on my face was the fact that you're talking about doing some role playing, and and every time you start talking about role playing, it just makes me laugh. See,
Oh,
there you go. There's your high note right there, Sour. You're welcome.
crazy! Are you excited to play this wrestling game?
Heck yeah. I am excited to play this wrestling game. Heck yeah, man. As long as I can grab a chair and go around and swing it at your head, I'll be happy to. Heck yeah, man.
Crazy.
And also, what's up?
Are Are you ready to role play with Sourblow?
Yeah, yes, I'm ready to. And man, I get to wear tights too in this game.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh no.
I hate both of you, and I also hate you, General C. I see you in the chat.
This is not where you thought it was going, is it?
Why you hate the Jen? He's right. The wrestling is a little much
First,
soap opera.
first he's talking bad about my cookies. And
What?
now-
Your cookies? What's wrong with your cookies?
Who said you could eat my cookies? Put the cookie down.
Put the cookie down.
Anyway, let's roll it back. Let's bring it back to a video game.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Silent. Give us your second pick, please, because this is getting out of control.
Sorry. Let me.
Mm.
Okay, we're good. We're good. Well, yeah. So my second pick is The Last Night, of which I feel like I've got a theme in some of these games so far. We don't really know very much about The Last Night. We saw a trailer, I think, about 5 years ago. And short of that, there's not a lot that we know. We know that it's a 2.5D platform game where the player ends up controlling this character, Charlie. And he's a lower class man living in a quote unquote era of leisure, is what they end up saying with it. But it's got a lot of really cool feel to it. Like it reminds me a lot of like Another World, which I've told you guys about in the past, and I'm sure you guys haven't played it yet, because whenever I recommend something, you throw it in the suggestion pile.
That's not
Which
true.
is the garbage can. But it reminds me of Another World, and some of those 2.5 or like 2D games back then, where there was a lot of that like action adventure, sci-fi thriller type of feel to it. It feels like Cyberpunk meets like what is it? It'd be like Cyberpunk meets Blade Runner or something. Is kind of how it feels to me. And it looks phenomenal. The visuals are awesome. Unfortunately, like there's been multiple issues. Like the game's been delayed out quite a bit over time. There were some internal issues with some people, I think, that were creating the game initially. And so it kind of dropped off of the radar for like a good couple to 3 years, I think, before we started to really hear much about it again. But it sounds like it is actually scheduled to come out this year. It's currently slated for this year. It doesn't have a set date, but it's got the nebulous 2023 is what it's listed as currently. It is a small dev team though, so that's definitely one thing to it. I think it's mainly Tim Surratt or Tim Surray, however you say the last name, but the developer is Odd Tales, and it's their very first game that they've actually released. So this is going to be an interesting one for them. I'm really hoping that we see more here in the next little bit. If we don't see anything by E3, I'm kind of nervous that this thing's going to get pushed to 2024. But it keeps it's like what we saw as Xbox gamers for a good while, right? Like back in 2017, we started hearing the just wait, we've got games coming. Just wait. And I feel like every time I look at something for this game, I keep hearing like, oh, 2021's the year where you're going to see a lot of stuff about this game. And then all of a sudden, like all the news articles are like, Last Night is set to make a comeback in 2022. Well, 2022 came and went, and we didn't really see very much. So I'm kind of nervous. Hopefully we'll see more here soon.